In this video, I want to investigate this phantom high beam indicator light that appears when a truck is off for no reason. Now, if you do an online search or you look on YouTube, there's going to be a few videos like this where people have claimed they solved the problem. One was using dielectric grease. He said it worked. In the comment section, people said it didn't work. If it did work, for how long? Because this seems to be sporadic. Sometimes it'll stay off for like a week, sometimes for a day. In my case, I had a video where I changed some rear taillight bulbs and it stayed off for 2 years. Well, other videos were talking about cracked solder joints in the instrument cluster itself. That was a problem. One was saying the switch. Obviously, it's not the switch here. It's totally disconnected and I'm still getting the light. This dash was actually rebuilt in 2011. I actually contacted the guy and he said the problem could be in some of the electric circuit board or components, and I'm going to actually send it back and have it tested. Here's my invoice for when I had the instrument cluster rebuilt, and you'll see it was done in 2011, and they replaced the stepper motors, the bulbs, and did a service check on it to make sure everything was okay. And the price was $135. So if you go to kinserservice.com, here's their website, and if you go to forms and you scroll down, you'll see all the instrument clusters they repair. Here's mine, and the price is the same as it was years ago, like 15 years ago. Or you click on the service form. You have to do this anyway, because when you send the instrument cluster in, you have to put this slip in the box. You just fill in your info, the truck's info, what's wrong with it. In my case, I'll be checking other here, and I'll have to type in that the high beam indicator light comes on for no reason. You put in your information, sign it, whatever, and send it out. And I'm getting ready to send her out, and this is not a 100% guarantee fix, but more than likely it is the problem. And I'm going to include next a video of a little bit of testing that I have done to try and eliminate different sources. I'm going to reach back there. I'm going to wiggle this wiring harness again. Moving the wires around is not really making a difference. That's dealing with this truck, the 2004 Chevy Silverado. I'm going to go ahead and compare the voltage readings to the instrument cluster inside this truck. This is a 2005 GMC, and it should be the same stuff. We should be able to see everything perfectly. All right, checking the orange pin down here first. My old truck was 11.7 or something. This one's 12.3. All right, we'll go to the top orange one here. 2.9. My other truck, it's only 0.9. We'll go to the 6 pin in. Should be this one. 0.01. Mine rested without the indicator light on was 0.09. All right, on this wiring harness here, this pin down here is for the battery. Mine is low because of the light that's been draining it, but this is the only one that I'm actually interested in. In rest mode or sleep mode, this thing is 0.09. And my other truck, my plow truck, it's 0.01. So it looks like we got a little bit higher of a draw here. All right, now the blinker switch is totally disconnected. I got all the wires off. Okay, and the light's still on. The phantom light. So that tells me it has nothing to do with the turn signal. Today's April 7th. I mailed her out on the 1st, so it's only been gone for 6 days. Pretty quick turnaround. They said there were some corroded resistors, cracked solder joints, and they did some other repairs. Anyway, I'm going to plug this back in and see what happens. I just plugged her back in. So far, so good, but I'm going to leave the truck set for about a week before I put her back together. Hopefully, this solves the problem once and for all. Actually, as long as it's in here, I'm going to start this up real quick. The first time I had the instrument cluster rebuilt was because the gauges were all over the place, and even though I did have success with changing some rear taillights for about 2 years, I don't think I actually fixed the problem. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete that video. Today is April 9th, so it's been plugged in for 2 days. The light has not came back on yet, so I'm assuming this is fixed. I'm not going to put the truck back together yet for probably a week, like I said, but I think this is going to actually solve the problem. Normally, it would come back on within 24 hours, and lately it was even sooner. Even after an hour, the light was coming on. So it's like the problem just got worse and worse. If your light starts coming on, sometimes this switch could be the problem, I guess. And I would just unplug the whole directional switch. There's like 4 plugs in there. This inner one is really hard to get to, but you can get it out. And of course, unplug the hazards. And then just check to see if the light comes on. Otherwise, I'd say just go ahead, unplug this instrument cluster, send it out. Even if you only have one vehicle, you still can drive the truck this way, even at night, of course, but you won't have any dash lights. Of course, you're not going to know how fast you're going either, but you still can do it. It didn't even take that long. Now, if the light eventually does come back on, which I don't think it will, I will pin a comment to the video, and then I'll probably take a look at the headlight switch here, see if that's got something to do with it. But I don't think I'll need to.